I'm Libby Gibson, Town Manager. Welcome to What's Going On in Town Government. We are in a slightly different location tonight. We are here at the Community Room at Fort Fairgrounds. We just finished our board meeting, and Gino and I decided we should just get the show underway because it's fresh.
Lots of fresh stuff.
Lots of fresh stuff. We got a lot of stuff here. Not a lot.
What about the opening? What was the Cape Wind thing all about? Public comment.
Okay, so we had quite a bit of public comment tonight, and a couple of people got up and talked about Vineyard Wind. So, at last week, the board had an executive session, and the item had to do with Vineyard Wind, and the wording on the executive session agenda referenced something like potential strategy in connection with litigation in connection with the Vineyard Wind project. That wording is first of all, that wording is standard wording when you're doing an executive session for something that might involve a legal strategy. It might involve litigation, it might involve pending litigation, it might involve a number of different things, but that's the typical wording that can be used for an item that is allowed to be outside of the open meeting law. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is this, without going into details that I am not at liberty to reveal, the issue pretty much was the items that could potentially be in a mitigation agreement with Vineyard Wind. And so far, the items are, some would consider somewhat minimal, and with respect to the impact that the wind project is going to have on the island, which is a National Historic Landmark, and a recent finding from one of the federal agencies that is doing the permitting found that there was minimal impact on Nantucket as a National Historic Landmark with this wind farm. However, I think it's safe to say that the town feels otherwise. This is just because I think we're going to see it.
We'll see it, but the vineyard's going to see it a lot more than we would, wouldn't they?
Well, I'm not sure about a lot more.
They'll be higher up. You'll be able to see it a little easier there. I think it's just below that.
You may be able to.
Are they complaining?
No, because they have a very substantial mitigation agreement. They are. In any event,
comes down to that.
It comes down to that. So we're just exploring options.
Sure.
That's all this is. Exploring options.
The bottom line is we want something that's a good deal, but we don't want to throw a spoke into it to completely ruin what they're trying to do.
Gino, I wish you had gotten up and said that. Hit the nail right on the head.
Okay.
So there was a couple of comments about that, and so that was that. I won't go into all the other public comments because we're going to be here all night. We had a couple of announcements. We have a pond forum tomorrow, Thursday, May 2nd. I don't know if this will be on by then.
Well,
you'll be able to watch it.
But we would have had it. Right, you can watch it on
You'll be able to watch it.
TV.
Yep. Okay, so anyway, and our big item was the approval of a host community agreement with Act Natural, the second medical adult retail marijuana establishment. So with them, we'll ultimately have two.
Retail, huh?
Yep.
Sounds a little...
Co-located facility with medical in one part and adult use in the other.
Oh.
Or otherwise known as, just retail marijuana. So Green Lady is on Amelia Drive, and they are in the process of getting ready to open. Act Natural will be out on Spearhead Drive, which is out off,
You mean the airport?
out by the airport, kind of by the airport,
Yeah.
more at the very, very end of Old South Road off to the left. In any event, the host community agreement involves a community impact fee, some other charitable contributions for various purposes, and some other conditions that mitigate the impact of the establishment on the community. So we went through a number of the conditions, and long story short, we ended up with an agreement that the board approved and the applicant, Act Natural, agreed to. So now we will send all of these documents to the state, and they will proceed with their state processing. They also have an appearance at the planning board, I believe, on May 13th.
So Green Lady is ahead of them a little bit?
Well, Green Lady got these things quite a while ago.
Yeah.
So they're opening soon.
Green
I don't know
Lady's
the
not
date. Green Lady is medical.
Both are?
And retail.
Okay.
Yeah, they both are.
All
Same. All right, then we had some third quarter budget reports for the current fiscal year. And
What, is that it?
next week, that was it.
Wow.
But don't get too excited about it. Next week's different.
Is it?
Yep. Oh,
Oh,
shoot.
boy.
I didn't do this right. Anyway, I'm just, okay, so.
Hey, you know what was surprising? In the water, when the water guy came up and spoke.
Do you mean the director of the water company,
Yes.
Mark Willett?
Yeah,
Yes,
I knew his dad. I remember his dad.
me too.
Anyway, he said that they were only up 3%, even though they put in like 100, well, how many more? did he
I
say?
forget what he said, but.
He says they're putting one in every day. A new line goes in on average every day here.
Well, okay, that's right now.
Yeah, that's still.
It's not all the time.
a brand
But
new
because they
line.
have, well, he was saying a connection.
Yeah, but he said the pumping has been only 3% higher, even though there's a lot more. But that's a good sign, because that means people are conserving most likely.
Well, it may mean that, but it also may mean for this period of time, we've had a lot of rain, which we have.
Well, what is that? You're talking about
Well-
people using water, though, not...
Well, actually, it's probably not such a thing now because they're not watering their lawns. Like if they're
Oh, I
watering
see.
their
Right.
lawn,
No, they
but that's
wouldn't be.
probably not, that's not an issue right now.
Okay. Anyway, that was
Okay.
surprising.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Okay, so next week at our meeting, May 8th, we have,
Oh, this is the one I've been waiting for, right? The whole island's been waiting for this one.
has it? We have,
It's like Endgame.
yeah,
What
okay.
is it?
We have 3 pending dog hearings.
Yeah!
All right. One of them is going to be continued to May 15th. The other 2 are scheduled for next week. And these are 2 dogs owned by one person. The other is just a separate dog owned by somebody else. So the dogs are in some hot water.
They're in hot water.
Yeah.
They've
So
been
we're going to
running
hear-
around the island,
Doing
killing
Things.
farm animals.
there are some of that, and there's been some other issues with other dogs.
Okay.
And
So we're
so
going to go through a dog.
we're going to go through what's
process.
called a nuisance dog hearing.
Okay.
We don't do this very often,
Interesting.
but every now and then it happens. And so basically what happens is the animal control officer will give a report, and there will be testimony from victims or victims' owners, and the dog owner will be able to give testimony as well, and then the board will be able to discuss it and consider potential penalties, which there are specific options.
Oh.
They range from things such as confining the dog to its own property, but there are certain methods you can and can't use to do that, like you can't tie it up in a certain manner. There is muzzling. There is, certain types of restraining, all in the
Can the
law.
board euthanize?
There is euthanization, yes.
They could go
Potentially.
that far?
That would be very, very bad.
Have you ever seen that happen here, where the board has taken?
I don't really have to
Steps.
look back. I feel like early on early on in my time here, there may have been one back quite a while ago.
We have a leash law.
We do.
I know.
We do have a leash law, and many people don't seem to think that we do.
No, especially when you're on the beach.
Well,
It's tough.
as a dog owner, and I am a dog owner myself, and
Sure.
dog owners like to go places and let the dog off the leash. That's how your dog gets exercise much of the time.
Yeah, you go to Tuppence.
You go to
that's what it's all about.
Tuppence,
It's a dog
yeah,
park.
you go to Sanford. In any case, but if you're a responsible dog owner, I'm going to go out on a limb
Oh,
here
sure.
and say that you know when you should have your dog on a leash and when you should not.
Yeah.
You should not have your dog off the leash at the beach during the summer, during the day.
Well,
Okay.
we're going to find out about this dog, this particular dog, I'm sure.
Yeah, we are. So anyway,
There's probably reasons that dog got away, probably
there,
shouldn't have.
I'm
it
sure
wasn't
there's going to be
restrained.
quite a story about the whole thing.
So
But
that's
everybody will
exciting.
be able to be heard, and the board will take it all into consideration and make a decision.
Any other exciting news?
Well, not on the dog front, no.
But next week.
Yes, so we're also going to be, everything's exciting here, Gino, with
Okay.
these meetings, everything. We're going to have an update from Public Works reviewing the solid waste stream separation. So,
Oh.
the waste that comes in, we're trying to get people to separate more specifically, I guess I would say. I'm not going to get into it right now because we could be here for 4 hours. But we're going to be discussing it, and the haulers have some concerns, so they are going to be coming to the meeting and discussing their concerns.
Oh.
And we'll hear about that.
The haulers, you mean?
The trash haulers.
The guys that, yeah.
The commercial.
Right.
Okay, so, and we're also going to get an update from DPW about the downtown sidewalk improvement project in connection with the historic preservation review process. So in other words, ensuring that as we move through the downtown sidewalk improvement project, we are restoring the sidewalks in a historic manner and repairing them and all of that sort of thing. So that is next week.
Oh, that's a good meeting.
And then,
try to keep it within the 2 hours, though.
yeah, well, yeah, we should always try to keep it
Always
within
try
the
to
2
keep
hours.
it within
I
2
know.
hours.
Yeah, so that's it. You got anything else?
What'd you do for Daffodil Day? It was a nice day.
It was a nice day. I'm trying to think back what I did.
thought it was
I
good.
didn't really do much daffodil things. I think I had errands to do. I had cleaning to do. I can't remember that far back, Gino, but I didn't really do any daffodil stuff.
Now it
was too cold.
Fire truck is owned by your family, or is it you just?
My brother
Your
owns
brother.
an antique fire truck that my dad
Yeah.
purchased here on Nantucket. It was a former Nantucket Fire Department surplus
It is
vehicle.
the fire truck that leads the parade. Is it
Yes.
also the fire truck during the 4th of July?
Yes, it is.
It's the water. It fights.
It's the
with
winning fire truck
It's the winning.
during the water fight,
Yeah,
right?
that's cool.
Yeah.
Boy, I did a little piece on the daffodil thing, and I'm surprised at how many people have seen it that have never been to Nantucket.
Oh, yeah.
And they all saw it.
interesting.
We all said, we're like, that looks like the most fun.
Oh, it is
mean,
really fun.
It was
it really
fun this
is.
year, by the way. It was.
I really like going out to Sconset every now and then, not every year, but it was too cold and windy, and I just made other plans. Oh, I know one thing I did on Saturday. I did clean team Saturday morning for
Yes.
kickoff clean team, 8
Yeah, but
a.m.
not much to clean up because.
Well, Gino, I disagree with you. There was surprisingly a lot of trash on Old South Road, Milestone. This time of year, you can get in deep into the bushes.
Yeah.
It's pretty disgusting out there, people. And whoever throws the nips out the window, or however they get next to the
You
bike
see a lot
path,
of those?
a ton. Please stop doing that.
Drunkards.
I have some thoughts about where it's coming from, but I probably shouldn't say it right now. In any event, Clean Team has kicked off. Clean Team meets every Saturday at 8 o'clock at a different location every week. This Saturday it's at Surfside. I am not able to be there because I would be off island.
Okay, that's why we're doing this now.
That's why we're doing this now, because we can't do it later in the week. And that's about it.
That's about it? All right.
Yeah. We do have a little bit of an exciting thing coming up, a town exciting thing. The Cape Cod Selectmen's and Councilors Association has a monthly meeting in a different town, typically every month, and they're coming to Nantucket on Friday, May 10th. They were coming here for a little while, for a period of time there a few years ago, and then it sort of fell away, and they're going to come back. They're going to get a tour of the landfill, and then we're going to have a lunch at the Brotherhood, I believe.
So why are they going to see the landfill?
They like to go see the landfill here.
I mean, is it because they need
Well,
to learn something about our
we
landfill?
have sort of more stuff out there than most towns,
Yeah,
because
we
we
do,
don't have
don't we?
just a transfer station. We have the recycling facility, the composting. We were doing a mining project. We have, the scales, and
And there's talk about getting rid of it all and having a transfer station and shipping it all off.
well, there
Isn't it?
is some talk about
There is,
that, but
yeah.
there is a very significant cost to that. Very significant.
Really?
Yes, we'll be getting into that next week.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway, that's exciting for us in the town government world to have visitors from other towns come.
Hmm.
Thanks very much. See you next time.